Today we're focusing on the very first milestone that every coach, consultant, and agency owner needs to hit, and that's your first $10,000 month. Now here's the truth. While the journey to $1 million is exciting, it's impossible without first mastering the fundamentals that get you to 10K per month. I've seen too many people try to implement advanced scaling strategies when they haven't even secured their first handful of clients. This video is for the true beginners. Those of you who are just starting out or struggling to get that initial traction. Maybe you have expertise to share but aren't sure how to monetize it. Or perhaps you've been stuck in that trap of undercharging and over-delivering, keeping your revenue permanently low. Whatever your situation is, I'm going to lay out the exact roadmap that will take you from zero to your first 10K month as efficiently as possible. We're going to cover 3 core pillars: creating an irresistible offer that the market actually wants, implementing predictable client acquisition on a beginner's budget, and developing a simple but effective sales process to close high-ticket deals. The beauty of this approach is it doesn't require venture funding, expensive ads, or a massive following. It's designed specifically for beginners who have more time than money, but are committed to building something substantial. So let's dive in and create your very own roadmap to that first 10K month. The foundation of your journey to 10K months starts with creating an offer that the market actually wants. This is where most beginners ironically go wrong. There's a fundamental choice you need to make right at the beginning. Do you want to optimize for passion and purpose, or do you want to optimize for speed to revenue? Let me be clear about this. I believe you can eventually have both, but when you're just starting from zero trying to create a completely new category based solely on your passions, this can often lead to a long, difficult road to profitability. If your goal is to hit 10K per month as quickly as possible, you need to focus on solving an existing problem, proven pain points in an established market. This dramatically reduces the time spent on achieving product market fit and allows you to focus your energy on acquisition and sales. Now here's how to approach this. First, you need to look at a traditional market segment with an obvious pain point. For example, local service-based businesses are perfect examples. Dentists, car mechanics, tradespeople, real estate agents, or restaurant owners. These established businesses have predictable challenges around client acquisition, operations, marketing, or technology. For example, most car mechanics are excellent at fixing cars, but struggle with consistent lead generation. Most dentists are highly skilled clinicians, but have no proven way for reactivating dormant patients. And most tradespeople are constantly booked, but have no processes for scaling beyond their own time. By focusing on these established markets, you're entering into a conversation that's already happening in the prospect's mind. You're not trying to convince them that they have a problem, they already know they do. You're simply positioning yourself as the solution. The second key component of your offer is pricing. Now, to reach 10K per month quickly, you need to charge high ticket prices from the beginning. And when I say high ticket, I'm talking about packages priced between $3,000 and $10,000, either as a one-time fee or a recurring payment. Now let's do some simple math here. With a $3,000 offer, you need just over 3 clients to hit 10K. With a 5K offer, you only need 2 clients, and with a 10K offer, you only need 1 client. This makes your path to 10K tremendously simpler than if you were selling $500 packages, which would require 20 clients. Now I know what you're thinking, but Alex, I don't have enough experience to charge those kind of prices, or no one will pay me that much when I'm just starting out. Now here's what you need to understand. People don't pay for your years of experience, they pay for the results that you can deliver. If you can solve a $50,000 problem, charging $5,000 is a bargain regardless of how long you've been in business. The final component of your offer should be a clearly defined outcome or transformation. What specific result will the client achieve by working with you? The more concrete and valuable this outcome, the easier it will be to command high ticket prices. For example, instead of offering social media management, you might offer a guaranteed system to generate 15 qualified leads per month for plumbing businesses through optimized Facebook campaigns. With a market-aligned offer, high ticket pricing, and a clearly defined outcome, you've built the foundation for your journey to 10K months. Now let's talk about how to get your first clients through the door. When you're starting from zero, you likely don't have thousands of dollars to invest in paid advertising. The good news here is that you don't actually need it. At this stage, when you have more time than money, outbound strategies are actually the most effective approach. Now, let me walk you through how to implement a predictable client acquisition system that costs almost nothing except your time. The first step is identifying where your ideal clients spend their time online. This could be LinkedIn for B2B services, Instagram for certain consumer services, Twitter, otherwise known as X, for thought leaders, or even specific industry directories and forums. Once you know where your prospects are, you need to turn your outbound outreach into a mathematical equation. It might look something like this. 100 personalized outbound messages lead to 5 sales calls, and that then results in 1 closed deal. At the beginning, your conversion rates might be lower, and you may need to send 200 or 300 messages to generate those 5 calls. But the principle remains exactly the same. If you send enough high-quality personalized outreach, you will generate opportunities. The key word here is high quality. This isn't about spamming hundreds of people with the same generic message. Each outreach should be tailored to the specific prospect, showing you've done your homework and understand their business. To make your outreach even more effective, I recommend creating what we call a lead magnet, something of immediate value you can offer to your target market to start the conversation. For example, if you're targeting car mechanics to help them with lead generation, you might offer a free audit of their current marketing strategy, or a sample list of 10 qualified prospects in their area, or a competitive analysis of other shops in their location. These value-first approaches give you a natural reason to connect and to demonstrate your expertise without coming across as just another salesperson. When you start booking sales calls, I recommend investing in a virtual assistant as soon as possible. You can hire someone from the Philippines for about $6 per hour to handle your outbound messaging, which frees you up to focus on sales calls and fulfillment. Think about it this way. If a VA working 20 hours per week can generate even one $5,000 client per month, they're paying for themselves many times over, whilst giving you back precious time for higher leverage activities. The beauty of this approach is that it's completely scalable. You can start by doing the outreach yourself to validate the process, then you can hire one VA, then eventually build a team of VAs to increase your outreach volume as your business grows. But remember, at this initial stage, the goal is simple. Do whatever it takes to get your first 2 to 3 clients. These early clients not only provide revenue, but also give you testimonials, case studies, and the confidence that your offer truly delivers value. Now that you have a compelling offer and a way to generate opportunities, you need to convert those opportunities into paying clients. And this is where your sales process comes in. Many beginners feel uncomfortable with sales or believe that you need to be a natural salesperson to succeed. The reality is that selling high-ticket services is a process that anyone can learn with the right structure. Let me walk you through a straightforward sales framework that works especially well for beginners. The process starts with light rapport building. Just 1 to 2 minutes asking how their week is going and where they're located. Don't spend too long here, you just want to quickly establish the purpose of the call. Next, establish the frame of the conversation. This means clearly stating what will happen during the call. An example of this would be, the purpose of our call today is for me to understand more about your business and the challenges that you're facing. Then I'll share some thoughts and ideas about what I would consider if I was in your situation, whether you decide to work with us or not. If it seems like we might be a good fit, I'll explain how we could help to implement some of these ideas. Does that sound good for you? This frame is powerful because it positions you as a consultant rather than as a salesperson, and it gives you permission to share your solution later on in the call. The third step is deep discovery, asking thoughtful questions to understand their current situation, pain points, constraints, and the vision they have for their future. This is the most critical part of the call and should take about 40% of your time. Great discovery questions might include, what's the biggest challenge you're currently facing in the business? What have you tried so far to solve this problem? What does solving this problem unlock for the business? And what do you want your business to look like in 6 months from now? The goal is to unlock not only their functional needs, but also their emotional drivers, the real reasons they want to solve this problem. Once you have a clear understanding of their situation, move to the fourth step. This is where you'll share your thoughts and insights. This is where you'll also demonstrate your expertise by offering genuine value based on what you've learned so far. So for example, you'd say to them, based on what you've shared so far, if I was in your position, here are the 3 things that I would focus on. This approach shows that you've listened carefully and have real solutions to offer, regardless of whether they become a client or not. The 5th step is in presenting your service offering, essentially explaining how you would actually implement the ideas that you've now just shared. This is ultimately your pitch. It feels natural because you've already established value and shown how your solution addresses their specific needs. Finally, you move into securing commitment, asking for the sale and handling any objections that arise. A simple way to transition to this phase is, based on everything that we've discussed so far, I believe that we could help you to achieve this specific outcome. Would you like to hear how we could potentially work together to make that happen? From there, you present your offer, address any concerns, and then guide them towards making a decision. Remember, at the beginning, your sales process doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be structured enough to drive confidence and to help the prospect to see the value in what you're offering. With practice, your approach will naturally refine and improve. The key here is to focus on genuinely understanding their needs and positioning your service as the logical solution to their problems. When you do this authentically, selling feels less like convincing and more like you're genuinely just trying to help. Now let's pull everything together into a complete roadmap. Week 1 to 2, create your market-aligned offer and identify a traditional market with clear pain points by developing a high-ticket offer priced between $3,000 and $10,000 with a specific outcome. Then you want to create any necessary delivery frameworks or materials. Between week 3 to 4, you want to set up your outbound system. Research where your ideal clients spend the most time online, create templates for personalized outreach, develop a lead magnet to offer immediate value, and start sending 20 to 30 personalized messages daily, then start to ramp that up to 100 plus once you know your math equation. Between weeks 5 to 8, refine your sales process. Create a simple sales script following the framework that we discussed. Book and collect your first 5 to 10 sales calls and record calls with permission to review and improve. Then aim to close your first client. Between weeks 9 and 12, you then want to scale what's working. Hire a virtual assistant to increase outbound volume, use feedback from initial clients to refine your offer, create testimonials and case studies, and then continue to improve your sales conversion rate. By focusing intently on these activities, most beginners can reach their first 10K month within 90 days. Some will do it even faster, and some might take a little bit longer, but the framework will always remain the same. The key to consistency and focus at this stage is you really should be spending at least 80% of your time on offer development, outreach, and sales calls. Everything else, including building a fancy website, perfecting your logo, or creating social media content, is going to be secondary at this particular stage. Remember, the goal isn't to build the perfect business from day one. The goal is to generate momentum by securing your first handful of clients. Once you're consistently hitting 10K months, then you can start thinking about more sophisticated marketing strategies, team building, and operational excellence. So there you have it, the exact roadmap to take you from 0 to your first 10K month as a coach, consultant, or agency owner. Now let's quickly recap the 3 core pillars. Create an irresistible market-aligned offer that solves existing pain points and commands high ticket prices. Then implement a predictable client acquisition system through consistent high quality outbound outreach. Then develop a simple but effective sales process that converts opportunities into clients. What I love about this approach is that it works regardless of your background, your network, or your previous experience. It doesn't require special connections, a large audience, or significant startup capital. All it requires is your commitment to solving real problems for real businesses and your willingness to put in the work consistently. Remember, at this stage, momentum is everything. You're not trying to build the perfect business. Once you hit 10K consistently, you'll have the foundation, the confidence, and the resources to aim for even bigger milestones. 20K, 50K, and eventually that coveted $1 million mark. But it all starts with these fundamentals. Master them now and you'll build your business on solid ground. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more frameworks on scaling your coaching or consulting business. I'm Alleyne, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, keep climbing.